So today what we're going to do is we're going to do a little exercise. I don't do much of this at all on the channel, and I thought it would be pretty cool to do a review of what a double die is. There's a lot. I get confused all the time. Um, Different references will use different terminology. It's very confusing. But Wexler, if you go to, you can follow along with me. Just go to Wexler double dies. Excuse me, this is double. I think this is Wexler's. Anyway, it's a double die do doubledie.com. Okay, and we're gonna read this. I think, like I said, I do think this is Wexler's. And anyway, I'm gonna read it. We can read it together if you want. You can pause the video, find it. Okay, and this is how we learn, okay, by studying. And this is going to be a study, basically, a study session. The double die variety is one of the most popular die varieties for collectors. Because double dies are so popular, there is a lot of information out there about these varieties, and they are often seen for sale on the internet auctions sites such as eBay. Unfortunately, not all of the information out there is correct. A frequent misconception about double dies is that they are produced when the coins are struck twice by dies. Okay, so I know that's not the case. That's funny. This is definitely not the case. All U.S. coins made for circulation are struck once unless there is a mishap in the coining press. Right. So my understanding of what a double die is that, before I read it, and then we could see if I'm right or not, is that the um, the the die will strike the coin again, and the coin will put its impression on the die, and then every coin after that's made will have that second coin's uh, impression on the die put on it. That's my understanding. Okay. Even then, the resulting error coins will not be double dies. Only proof coins are struck more than once, with the number of times they are struck depending on the alloy of the planchets that will be struck into the coin. But even here, the number of times that a proof coin is struck will have no bearing on whether or not a double die is produced. Okay, so I also knew that. The key to double dies lies in the name, double die. Okay. As we have seen, coins are struck by steel rods that bear the design images for the coins they will be striking. These steel rods are called dies. For a double die coin to be produced, the doubled image must be on the die itself, hence the term double die, right? Which is what I just said. Double dies occur when there are mishaps in making the dies that will be used to strike the coin. That I did not say. How the double dies are made. Page of this website, we saw that for most of the mint's dies making history, the master design for a coin was transferred to a master hub in a reduction lathe. These have recently been replaced by CNC computer numerical control milling machines. I guess that's in the 80s and 90s. But the principle is still the same. The master hub is then used in a hubbing press to create master dies. The master dies are used in a hubbing press to create working hubs. And the working hubs are then used in a hubbing press to create working dies. Wow. I did not know that. I didn't realize there were so many separate steel apparatus from the initial image to the working die. I didn't know that there was a working hub, a master die. I knew there was a. I heard of the master die and the working die. I did not. I do not recall a master hub or a working hub or a reduction lathe. It is the working dies that are then used to strike the coins in the coining presses. In the Wexler die variety files, we define double die. So I guess this is Wexler, like I said. It's just for some reason called this is the HTML for double dies. In the Wexler die variation file, we define double die doubling as doubling produced on the hubs of the dies as a result of misalignment of the image on the hub and die at some point during the hubbing process. Okay. A more accurate term would be hubbing doubling, which I always call hub doubling. So I guess I'm just taking the lazy way out. But the term double die is clearly fixed in our culture and here to stay. Okay. Right. So the hub doubling is the misalignment of the image on the hub. Right. So I'm correct when I say that. The only question is, I don't know if there's more of a, if there are more terms that may be more accurate than just hub doubling as also slash double die. Okay. The misalignment of the design image may have been when the master hub was squeezing an image onto the master die. When a master die was squeezing image onto a working hub, or when a working hub was squeezing image onto the working die. Just where the doubling occurs in the sequence will dictate how common the doubling will be. Ah, I see. And that will affect the sequential values of the double coins that are ultimately produced. Doubling can occur in the process of transferring the design from the galvano, that's an interesting term, galvano, to the master hub. Links are provided here to get more details on the double master hubs, the double master dice, and the double working hubs. Okay. I'm gonna highlight this here where we left off, and I want to see how long this is. All right, there's some big pictures in between. Very good. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. So this is probably a little bit too much and too long to do a video. I don't know how long this video would be. All right, let's see. Since the vast majority of double die varieties, mass majority of double die varieties that are reported to us are on coins from doubled working dies, which is what transfers the image onto the planchet, the coin. That is where we will focus our attention here because of changes in MIT technology for making hubs and dies. The process of making a working die can be divided into two eras. These would be the multiple squeeze hubbing era and the single squeeze hubbing era. Okay, I remember this. I just don't remember what it is. I just my long-term memory is kicking in a bit. And what I'll do is I'll put the image up here for you to kind of to look at. The multiple squeeze hubbing era. Prior to the use of single squeeze and hubbings, which could impress the complete design for single squeeze hubbing, the working dies were made in multiple squeeze hubbing presses. For the first hubbing, a die blank was placed on the bottom of the hubbing chamber. Here. A working hub I guess this. For the first hubbing, a die blank, okay, a working hub was locked into the top of the hubbing chamber directly above the die. Okay, that's this. Here we see the hubbing chamber of a multiple squeeze hubbing press. Okay, so now they're going into the, I'm going to see if I could do the cliff notes here. Okay, but it's funny they talk about the annealing, and I think this looks like the hot surface. This is where they anneal. I talk about annealing all the time with the pennies, and how, look, there's a little bucket here. I'm not saying that this is the bucket with the annealing in it. I thought it was a big barrel. This is an annealing oven that was used in Philadelphia Mint during a Coin World sponsored tour of the Mint, Philadelphia Mint in 1998. Okay, so this is the annealing of the when the annealing process was complete, the working die was returned to the hubbing press to receive the next impression. So my understanding is annealing is like hardening or treating or both. When activated, the top of the hubbing chamber lowered and again squeezed the working hub. Oh, so they annealed it, they hardened it, and then they squeezed it again to put the impression. I guess that would be the second squeeze. Also, they just kept repeating the process until the image was satisfactory. Okay, so it's not. It's more than it. It could be more than twice. And if there was any type of misalignment between the working hub and the partially completed working die, then the double die would be created. Okay. So not caused by a coin transferring the image onto the working die when the working die struck another coin. So I guess whatever the plancha is does not have the ability, like a coin. I mean, so far that's what it looks like. I'm reading does not have the ability, right? Because a penny is made of copper. I'm talking about copper and zinc, especially. I guess could not hurt or change the image of hardened, multiple times hardened steel. And that's the die. That's the, to me, this is, I think this is the working, yeah, the working die. This photo illustrates, but I think they're talking about the one on the bottom, a working hub that was created for the Lincoln Cent reverse. Oh, so they're talking about both of them. Huh. Well, this one is low, and this one is high. Interesting. If you look carefully, you can see the images on the face of the working hub are raised and look just like they will appear on the struck coins. The arrows point to the grooves along the edge of the hub. The lugs on the working die will fit into these grooves to allow proper alignment of the working hub and the working die. Hold on. So I'm going to end the video here, I think, because these are the 9 different double die classes. Because I think really, maybe I'll continue it later on, but it's a very, very long and informative website. And to me, the most significant part of what I've read so far is that the double die is created prior to the coin being created. which was a misconception I had before, that it could be created after, and that's not the case. And I think that's just a very important aspect of how the double die on coins are created. So I'm going to leave it there. If not, this will be a 2-hour video. Take care. God bless. And I'll see you in the next one.